What's up, YouTube? This is my 325i station wagon manual, and it needs window regulators. The time has come. We are going to do window regulators on my 325i station wagon. As we've discussed, my 325i needs window regulators. Now, window regulators are a pretty common failure point on these cars, and I'm simply making this video to kind of empower people to do it themselves. Now, a bunch of them have been made already, but a second reason to why I'm making this video is that a huge portion of the people that I end up talking to about our cars really think that maintaining some of these older BMWs is expensive. And while yeah, at times I'm sure there are plenty of reasons that things could get expensive, but for the most part, this car has 200,000 miles on it. I drive it every day. I haven't done anything major to the car. I've done front control arms and sway bar links and tie rod ends, which again, I mean, that only cost me about 150 bucks from Amazon. You get a whole kit full of them. Here I am doing the window regulators, and I just did the rear one, and it's one, not that hard, two, Amazon's parts are getting the job done, no problem. They're pretty affordable. I want to say that cost me 25 bucks in 25 minutes. So these instructions are specific to the front windows. They're provided by Pelican Parts. You just go right on their website and look for the part that you're looking for, and they have tech articles down below, and you click on the tech article and they'll give you a how-to instructional on pretty much whatever project you're working on. Some of the tools required: plastic prying tools. That'll be these guys right here. These are what I've been using to remove the door cards without doing too much damage to the clips and the door card itself. If you use a screwdriver or something hard, you know, you start putting you could put like little rips in the leather and your door panels, or little dents and deviations or whatever. You cause more damage than you really need to. So I think these were like $7 on Amazon, man. They say a flathead screwdriver. I haven't really figured. Oh, and a Phillips head. I just did the rear one. I didn't need any screwdrivers. I guess this would be the screwdriver that I ended up needing, but it's because I needed to use some Torx bits. So, and that's not on the instructions here. So the only other thing they asked for is the 10 mil socket, which I did use a 10. I also ended up using an 8. So there's some tools that may not be listed here, or maybe just the rear window is different than the front window, but I ended up needing an 8. So a 10, an 8. I have a T30. I ended up needing a T30 to remove the screws from the actual motor. And then the T8 is what I used when you get the window down to where it needs to be, which I think this is upside down. Anyways, the window is going to actually hook itself into a little slot here, and then you run a screw through there. But in order to do that, you need to roll this down to a position where you can actually get access to it. But we'll talk about that all in a minute. But I ended up needing an 8 for that little bolt that actually holds the window. So those are all the tools you're going to need: a ratchet, a 10, an extension, an 8, a Torx bit 20, and size T30. And I've been using this little pick here to remove the plastic covering on the door cards. That's it. Those are all the tools you need. So these instructions don't actually include instructions that are going to help you remove the door card. So part of the reason I needed the T20s, which are not on the instructions, is because they're actually holding the door card or door panel in its place. So part of the reason they're not on the instructions, now I've already gone through and done all of this. I went ahead and removed it. The window, the door latch and release here is a really intelligent, I think, and easy to use design. In removing it, I haven't damaged any of my door clips, so this should all go pretty easily back on. This is the airbag that you need to protect, and you need to protect yourself from it. So this is the point where you do disconnect your battery. All right, we have disconnected the battery. All we did was remove the negative cable as instructed, and then move on to the 10mm bolts that we're going to be removing, which are these three. Those are all associated with the airbag, and that's going to get your airbag out of the way. All right, now that you've got the bolts removed, you're gonna grab a, where'd it go? A little screwdriver. This one's a little long, but it'll get the trick done. I'm gonna slide it in here. And you can see this little connector here. Just pull straight out. And then you just pry this bad boy out a little ways, and you're done. Unclip it, stick your airbag somewhere safe, move on to the next step. Now you're going to take all of this moisture barrier, you're going to peel it back. All right, so deep down in there, you see the little bolt? That bolt is what actually attaches your window regulator to your window. All right, you got another one back here. Got my strange little 8mm set up here. It works pretty good, as you can see. You quickly unscrew. Whoa. Now it looks like the plug actually came out of the back. Oh, this is a little piece of something that broke. We'll find out what that is here in a minute. There's the other screw. Now it's time to remove the actual window regulator. So, start with this one in the back. It looks like it's going to be pretty easy to get out of the way. It looks like these have been zip tied in place, so we'll grab a hold of something that'll break that loose. Need that. Alright, small pair of dikes will get this zip tie broken off. You should definitely unplug the window regulator. That's it. Get your orientation straight. This is how it's supposed to sit, and we'll find out really quickly what happened to this one once we make it to the back of the wagon, aka workstation. So it looks like this, first of all, this clip flat out doesn't care what the cabling is doing. That might be a problem. Next step. As we discussed earlier, the window motor is a good piece. They seem to last a long time, and their failures are not that common. What is common, however, is these window regulators failing, and so we're going to disconnect this motor. We're going to attach it to the new window regulator, and we're going to use that as our solution to our problem. Same thing as before. You see it kind of twists itself into place. You just twist it and it pops straight. Alright, so I've got it pressed on there, mostly locked in. Just twist it into place. There you go. It's all put together. This is metal. This housing where it screws into is plastic. Don't over tighten it. Bottom line, don't let whatever you see here make you feel like you can really crank on these. You can't. You'll strip it out. The metal is just stronger than the... let's go install this. Really quickly, don't forget to uninstall or remove these little rubber grommets. They're going to get in your way. You need them out of your way so you can install your window regulator. We got one more in here. This one. They're just thread protectors there to protect the threads on your window regulator bolts, the mounting bolt. In there. Okay. As instructed, install the rear one first. Now, this isn't a full send scenario. You just want to kind of get it snug up. You just don't want your rail to be moving while you're trying to connect the window and the rail, because it just makes it a pain in the ass. Alright, everything seems to generally be in its place where it belongs. This is going to get a zip tie. We've got a clip back here for your cable. Orient it correctly. You're good to go. Where are the clips? I guess they're all the way down at the bottom. So temporarily, we're going to reconnect the battery. Alright, you're going to pull your window clips up to where you can see them both pretty comfortably. If you have to do them one at a time, it's whatever. But at this point, you'll take your window, start pushing it down into its pocket. Make sure that your clips are oriented correctly. It's hard to describe this one, so you're just going to have to pay attention when you... Whatever you do, make sure you don't lose these. I heard it fall during... Drive this screw. Drive it home. Boom, there's one in. The other one's aligned. Same deal. I'm kind of putting my finger behind the screw so that it doesn't pop that little piece out that I just showed you. I don't know what to call it. It's just a threaded nut. But you want to hold that into place at least until you get it started. Give these a little bit of torque. Got your airbag. Get your funky little clip here. Oh, there it goes. Install your clip. Once you have it in place, clip it and lock it into its spot. Orient it completely as it should be. Alright, that's all connected, hooked up, yada yada. Up next, time to reconnect the rest of the door. So we've got speakers first. Speakers, one day I'll be doing speakers on the car, not today. Clip those two into place. That's everything. Again, this window, or excuse me, the door release on this car is actually a really genius, awesome system. Alright, you've got all that back into place. You're going to start attaching your screws. remember that the first screw next to the door handle is the long one. I don't know why this one gets a long one, but it does. We're gonna go again. Oh, the upper portion. That's that. One last piece. Don't forget that when you remove this, you need to remove it from this side first, because you've got a couple of little tabs here. The same goes for in here, and they're going to prevent you from being able to pull this side out. And if you force it, guess what you just did? You broke it. So we're going to go the same way, in the same direction when you're installing it. There it is, window regulator install. All in all, you know, the Amazon parts work. They get the job done. It's not a difficult job, so if you have to do it again because it's a little bit lower quality, honestly, it's probably going to last a few years, you know. So it's a well-known, well-documented problem for these cars, but it's pretty easy to fix. Shouldn't have too many complaints about it. Each window regulator costs about $25 to $35. Like I've told you guys before, I've done the entire front control arms for about $150. I've done complete rear brakes for about, I want to say that it ran me, I don't know, I want to say it was less than $100. That's pads and rotors. Did a front caliper for about $26 if I remember correctly. So really, it's not bad. Keep your Beamer on the road a little bit longer. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.